Well, Parkinson's disease is the second leading neurodegenerative disease in the United States, behind only Alzheimer's. It impacts a person's ability to move, speak, and think. And today, the Parkinson's Association of Southwest Florida will have a fundraiser to help people in Southwest Florida who have the disease. And today's Your Healthy Family, Fox 4 anchor Lisa Greenberg is live at the Ritz-Carlton Tiburon Golf Resort in Naples. And Lisa, that event starts in just a few hours.
That is right, but you can see, Chris, by taking a look behind me, people are already here getting things set up for this event today. Now, this is the Parkinson's Association of Southwest Florida's signature fundraiser. It's called A Step Forward, Overcoming Obstacles. And it's something that's so important to the association to have fundraisers like this, because that money that they raise helps people with Parkinson's, plus their families, their loved ones, their caregivers right here in Southwest Florida. So the money raised here in our area stays here in our area to help people who are dealing with Parkinson's disease. And I actually got to speak with a man who's a caregiver of his wife who has Parkinson's. She was diagnosed 15 years ago. Take a listen to their story.
We're pretty bonded.
Larry Sternberg and his wife Karen have been married for 46 years.
We've been through a lot together.
Busy work lives, both as doctors, kids, and then her Parkinson's diagnosis 15 years ago.
You think about when you take those vows on your wedding day, sickness and in health, this is all part of that.
That's right. I signed the contract, and I'm going to live up to the contract.
He says Karen noticed some symptoms interfering with her life.
She was losing focus, had trouble with balance, had some rigidity, and I denied the fact that she had anything wrong, and she said, "You're wrong." Finally reached a point where she said, "Look, there's something wrong. I need to see somebody else and be evaluated."
That's when they found out Karen had Parkinson's disease.
It was devastating. We had plans for a future in terms of our retirement, and I thought this was the end of the world.
But he very quickly learned he was wrong. And there's a lot of life left to live after a Parkinson's diagnosis. More on that in just a second. But first, a little more on what exactly Parkinson's disease is.
It's a neurodegenerative disease that results in a loss of a substance in the brain called dopamine. Dopamine is very important in the neural pathways for activities such as movement, even speech, and sometimes thought.
Now, what started as subtle symptoms, loss of thought process, inability to focus, problems with balance, have progressed
to the point where she's pretty dependent on all activities of daily living.
And as you can see here, as she gushes about her husband,
I've got a great supporter here.
She has difficulty projecting her voice. Eventually, Karen wasn't able to do a lot of the physical activities she loved, like ride a bike or go hiking. But she and Larry chose to focus on the positive.
Focus on what you can do and not focus on what you can't do.
And one of the things she could do was paint.
And has a very specific kind of technique because she has a minor tremor. So she paints differently than anybody else, so her work is very unique.
So coming up on Fox 4 Morning News at 8, we're going to show you more of her paintings and talk about how painting has really been an outlet for Karen. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. But right now, I have the executive director of the Parkinson's Association of Southwest Florida with me this morning. This is Mary Scheffel. First of all, thank you so much for joining us, and good morning.
Well, good morning, Lisa, and thank you so much for being here today. We are so excited about the event this afternoon. This event, in and of itself, raises funds that are so needed to offer all of our programs to people like Karen and Larry free of charge.
Right.
Our programming includes movement, exercise, and speech, which are essential and vital to living well with Parkinson's disease. You mentioned how long ago Karen's diagnosis was, and you need to maintain your fitness, you need to maintain your voice so that you can speak out for yourself and for other people with Parkinson's disease. So that's why we're raising money today to empower those with Parkinson's and their primary caregivers, the husbands, the wives, the daughters, the sons, the family members in Collier and Lee counties who have Parkinson's disease and who are affected. And more importantly, we want to make sure that more people know about what we do. A lot of people get a diagnosis and say, I don't need your help yet. We want them to know that we are here now. Our education programs cover all degrees of Parkinson's, whether you're newly diagnosed or you've gotten to the point where you do seated exercise. The point is you're still moving.
Right.
And that's what we encourage, is movement.
That's so amazing. And to give people at home a better idea, how big of an impact does Parkinson's disease have on Southwest Florida? Is this something that we're seeing a lot of here?
Oh, we're seeing a lot of it, and we're going to see a lot more. Parkinson's is tied to age, like Alzheimer's, but they say in 5 to 10 years, the diagnoses, the number of diagnoses, will overtake that of Alzheimer's. What's compounding this is it takes so long to come to a diagnosis. Some of the symptoms are not typical in any way, shape, or form. They look like something else. COVID, the whole loss of sense of smell. That happens to Parkinson's patients
Wow.
too. So in 2020, people were reporting and they didn't test positive for COVID. Oh my gosh, it turns out to be actually one of the symptoms of Parkinson's. So there's so many symptoms that align with so many other diseases that it takes a long time to diagnose. But we're here for them, whatever stage they're in, newly diagnosed, doing seated activities, we are here for you.
Just amazing. Thank you so much, Mary, for joining us this morning. Again, keep up with us here on Fox 4 Morning News. We are going to be following this throughout the morning today, and we're going to show you Karen's incredible paintings coming up on Fox 4 Morning News at 8. I'll send it back inside to the studio.